Do we have a Cold War waiting for us? Russia is waging a war on Europe, but not in the way that you think, because wars are not only fought with weapons nowadays, but also with power and hostility. Recession is about to begin in Europe because of this one man. Hey everybody, welcome back to Info Chunks. Europe is about to enter very dark times and winter is coming. Let me explain. Europe experiences winter usually between the months of December and February, and oh my, it'll be cold as hell. The average temperature is itself about 18 degrees Fahrenheit. In countries like UK, it ranges between 0 to 7 degrees Celsius. So, if you were there at that point of time, the most necessary thing you need, apart from hot, juicy hamburgers, is energy to heat your home, right? But what if you don't have energy? And even if there is, the prices are at an all-time high. How are you gonna get through winter?
Shit, I don't even know. I can't even tell you that. I don't know.
Now that is the situation that Europe is about to get into, guys. And it's all because of
Мною принято решение о проведении специальной военной операции.
Major news. After days on the razor's edge, Ukraine is now a nation at war.
Ukraine is under attack by land, sea, and air.
President Vladimir Putin warning other countries that any attempt to interfere with the Russian action will lead to, quote, consequences they have never seen.
When the Russia-Ukraine war began, the European nations hoped to impose severe consequences on Russia without fighting directly by imposing a lot of trade sanctions. Now, another thing is they cut off the use of Russian gas by 15%. Now that was a bad chess move, especially because they did it voluntarily. Why? Because Russia was supplying 55% of their gas imports in 2021. More than half. So what that tells you and me is that they desperately need Russian gas. Now it's been 6 months since the war began. With food prices rising and recession nearing, Europe needs gas from Russia to survive the winter. And on top of that, Europe is spending a lot of money to manufacture weapons for Ukraine in a war with no end in sight. And the longer the war goes on, the more problematic it will be for Europe. The next few months will be the hardest for the people in Europe as they will feel the rise of the cost of living. Some will have to make choices between heating their homes and eating. Why? Because the electricity prices are at an all-time high and the natural gas prices are 10 times more than the prices in the US. The benchmark European gas price has soared 550% in just the past 12 months. Many Europeans have already started to switch off lights and heaters. The industries are struggling to cope up with these ever-rising prices. Europe is already a host to thousands of Ukrainian refugees, and it is going to be hard for political leaders to justify spending money and energy in supporting a country far away while their country is itself in a crisis. Okay, so now in chess, when your opponent commits a blunder, what do? You take advantage of it and apply more pressure. So Putin started cutting natural gas exports more and more. The Nord Stream 1, a major gas pipeline connecting Russia and Germany and other parts of Europe, has reported supply decrease further from 40% to 20%. Russia is reporting that it is due to maintenance, and even though they are denying using energy as a blackmail weapon to force Europe to stop helping Ukraine and to lift the sanctions, we all know they're lying. So yeah, with winter in sight, Europe is desperate. Usually they use the natural gas stored in summer along with the regular Russian supply. Without that supply, European nations have started to look for liquefied natural gas or LNG from other countries like Canada, Algeria and Qatar. But experts say that it is not going to be sufficient. And it will not help the ever-rising prices either. Europe has passed the $280 billion plan to curb the prices as a short-term measure. Many countries are imposing energy-saving measures to force the public to reduce electricity. But nobody knows if all this will be sufficient or not. So winter is going to test Europe's support for Ukraine like never before. And we think as time goes by, EU and UK will remove some of the sanctions and come to a trade agreement with Putin to increase the natural gas supply, at least to some extent. Because otherwise things will just get a lot worse before it gets better. And that's all from my side. Before you go, make sure to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.